Hey guys, welcome back to World of Tanks. My name is Bruce and today I want to showcase my most desired tier 8 premium tank currently in the game. And keeping the tensions high, no, it is not the Super Pershing, so let's find out which tank it is and why you should consider getting this tank if you want to smash your opponents, especially during holiday ops. Let's go! So the tank that I am talking about and that I am recommending in this video is the M47 Iron Ani. In my opinion, this tank is an absolute powerhouse on tier 8. It was introduced during the last year's holiday ops event and it kind of went a little bit below the radar simply because it doesn't feature any special it doesn't have any special feature like, for example, the BZ176 that also was introduced during that period of time with the rocket motors. But the question is, so why do I recommend the Iron Ani? Why is this tank an absolute powerhouse on tier 8? It has an okay mobility. The gun is not the most precise one. It is made for close quarters fight. The view range is okay. It doesn't feature too much concealment, so you will not be able to play vision games in this tank. But this tank has a monster armor. It's basically a T26E4, so a Super Pershing, but actually a modern, a current version of this tank, so an absolute meta tank. So if you haven't checked out this, or if you do not know anything about the M47 Iron Ani, then feel free to watch my video that I already made about this tank. And in this video I explain everything you need to know, especially the armor profile. The armor is superb, however it does have some weak spots, but you will be able to hide those weak spots if you know where they are and if you know what you are doing. So yeah, you saw me switching to the right hand side. That was an aggressive move because I could have taken crossfire from the middle. However, I wanted to bring myself into this excellent position with this tank. The Iron Ani is a monster tank and it is best when it is used hull down, and if it is used hull down, then enemy tanks will have a tough time of penetrating you and of effectively fighting against you. The Iron Ani does not have the best DPM on paper. However, what really counts in World of Tanks is the effective DPM. Now, what do I mean? Well, if your tank has a paper-thin armor, well, then right here you saw the drawback of the inaccurate gun. Well, if you have a tank which has no armor whatsoever, then the adversary tank will basically penetrate every shot which is taken onto your tank. But if your tank has an above average armor, then this means that you will bounce some shots, maybe not every shot, but let's say every third or maybe every second shot. And if your armor is exceptionally good, at least if you know how to use it correctly, then you can bounce even more shots. And so whereas the armor or the DPM of the opponent is effectively reduced, your average armor, sorry, not your average armor, but your average DPM basically stays the same. So your effective DPM is much higher, at least compared to the tank that you are facing. And that is true for the Iron Ani, because the armor is really above average. It does have an overall excellent turret armor, an excellent upper hull armor, and also a lower hull armor, just like the Super Pershing on tier 8. But as I said, it is simply better in every regard. It also has 320 alpha damage, and so yeah, it is simply a powerhouse on tier 8. Alright, let's refocus on the game. So if you want to snipe in this tank, you should really try to fully aim in the gun, because it is not the most precise one, as I already described. So I've lost quite some HP and I decided to retreat and to fall back and to get the help of my teammates, which are located at the in the middle. Right here you go, nice 315 damage onto the Italian tank destroyer. And yeah, so far we made 2200 damage. Now we get quite some spotting damage, and I think it is time to push forward a bit more aggressively, because from this side it is possible that I can spot the adversary tanks. You know what? I think what we can do is, we haven't seen the T832 and also the other tank here in this bush. Okay, here we go. Nice. Okay, I should be able to take out a second shot due to the long reload time of the BZ176. Let me see. Lower hull, and okay, yeah, we do not hit because the lower hull is super small. Plus, the gun of the Iron Ani is not the most precise one. So, but maybe our team can help me out. Finally, our tank destroyers are also advancing and pushing towards my position, so I get the help of my teammates, which is excellent. And so now I can refocus on the other side of the map. And what I want to do is I want to be here in the elevated position in order to farm the other tanks from above. That's what I want to do. If you're playing in the Iron Ani, what you want to do, or what you should prefer any day of the week, is hull down gameplay. Here we go. Okay, he got one more shot, but once again, now he's taken out. The BZ has left the scenery, and so I'm actually he's still there, but he's entangled in a fight with my teammate. But now I can take him out, and so I'm now once again in a hull down position because I'm on the elevated terrain, and those tanks are right now not even looking towards me. So that's the perfect position for the Iron Ani. Alright, here you go. The E75 is moving on top of the hill, and I will simply fall back to make sure that he turns the gun towards the other tank. And so you go. Maybe I can hit the cupola. A little bit of luck right here with this shot. Now he's turning around and I can farm him. Excellent. Nice. And 4100 damage. Excellent. And so yeah, here you go. There's another tank. He's looking towards me, but he has a hard time penetrating me, and I can take him out. Excellent. Okay, so let's turn around and focus. Okay, here is still the Kunze-Panzer. We shouldn't have any problem whatsoever to hit the Kunze-Panzer. Let me see. He's hiding behind the rock, turning towards our teammates. And so, you know what? Let's simply turn around and refocus onto the other tanks. And once again, I'm bringing myself into an elevated position so that I can effectively play hull down against the other tanks. And yeah, of course, the rear of an Italian tank destroyer is a sweet target because those tank destroyers are heavily armored, but only at the front, not at the sides, and also not at the rear. Plus, the tanks are relatively huge. Alright, so let's see whether we can get some more damage. Here you go. And the charioteer takes me out. Okay, so 5,300 damage, 900 assisting damage, so 1,000 assisting damage, so 6.3k combined. And I think a decent result in the Iron Ani. Another thing that I like about the Iron Ani is the fact that you can play super aggressively in this tank. The Iron Ani, due to its fantastic armor, is a medium-heavy hybrid. So you can be super flexible. You can work the medium flank, but you can also play alongside your heavy tanks and brawl against other heavy tanks. This does not only work against same tier tanks or lower tier tanks, but also, once again, due to the perfect armor, against top tier tanks. And the armor profile of the Iron Ani on a flat surface is good. It becomes even stronger if you are, as I said in the first game, playing hull down. So in this game, I want to follow up my teammates into the city on highway, because keep in mind, if you are trying to win the A1 position from this side, you should have not only quite a lot of team support, because it is easier to access this position from the southern spawn than it is from the northern spawn. And as you can see, only the Lansen C so far is pushing, and I bet he will soon be taken out of the game, because the adversary medium tanks will push this position aggressively. So I decided to play with my heavy tanks in the city, and the good thing about the Iron Ani is, as I said, you have on one hand the armor that lets you brawl against heavy tanks, but then on the other hand you are still a medium tank, and so I'm playing this tank with the turbo, which I can really recommend, and so I am one of the most mobile tanks on the heavy flank, and this lets me drive into aggressive positions early on in the game. As you can see, yes, I take a shot here, but now I managed to go to this aggressive position, and so enemy heavy tanks will not have the chance to push all the way down to the K0 position, but instead I'm kind of blocking their way and giving my team the chance to advance in the city and to get the better positions that are needed in order to outplay the adversary heavy tanks. And now we simply need to be cautious and smart, and so we want to wait. There you go. Okay, as you can see, if you are playing in a close quarter fight, of course the unprecise gun is not a problem at all. You can even conduct snapshots with this gun, and as soon as the adversary tanks do not have the time to precisely aim at your weak spots, your armor is super effective. Go. Okay, I missed that shot on the MX65T. Yeah, and that's what you should always do, and this is why I play this tank with the turbo, because it further increases my my forward speed, my reverse speed, and then also my mobility in general, due to the increased power to weight ratio. And this means that I can enhance my armor because I'm constantly moving around and giving my adversary tanks a hard time of penetrating or hitting my weak spots. And so I'm maximizing the strong armor that this tank brings to the fight, and so I can play ultra aggressively and be super successful in this tank. Now let me see, so our teammates are following up, which is good. And here we go. Yes, I take one shot from the German heavy tank, the VK101P, which is fine, but I think this aggressive move helped our team to easily win the city, and now it's simply time to keep pressing forward and to make more damage. Here we go, and he is entangled in a fight, so I can easily take a shot onto the Skoda T56, and I think our teammates will now finish him off exactly. Alright, so yeah, with actually quite some ease we have managed to win the city, and I think it is because of the strength of the Iron Ani, which is the armor profile, as I said, but then also the mobility of a medium tank, although it is not the most mobile tank on the battlefield. Alright, now the question is, do we push forward? I think so, because our teammates are also pushing forward, and now it is time to take out the VK101P. Okay, he tracks us, and we can take a shot onto his lower hull, which is the weak spot of this tank, besides his cupola. Oh, okay, that was super unfortunate. And now we should try to hurry up and get down into this little riverbed so that the Zu-130 PM cannot take another shot onto us. Okay, excellent. He bounces the second shot. Nice. And so, yeah. One other thing that I should mention is this tank was really fun to... I mean, it is all the time fun to play. It is currently my preferred tier 8 premium tank in the game, due to the fact that you can play aggressively, and due to the fact, sorry, that this tank is super flexible, and that it also performs great in a low tier scenario, even against tier 10 tanks. Now, what I found out is this tank works especially nice during holiday ops, during the season, or in the season where games are super quick, where players are rushing positions ultra aggressively. And in this current situation, you will get pushed out in a regular tank quite often and rapidly. But this is not true if you're playing in the Iron Ani, because you can brawl against multiple tanks if you know what you're doing and if you're angling your armor correctly. I will show this to you in one of the next games, but it was quite I had quite a happy time countering those over aggressive, sometimes stupid games or stupid gameplay with the Iron Ani. So yeah, I wanted to give you this example of an ultra aggressive gameplay. We made 2300 damage, 1.3 assisting damage, and I think the reason why we won the city so easily was our ultra aggressive gameplay that you can perform in the Iron Ani because it brings you the armor that you need to do so. Alright, third game in the Iron Ani. This time we are spawning in a low tier situation, although it is a tier 9 battle. And once again, nothing that I am afraid of because I'm playing in a nicely armored vehicle in the Iron Ani. Of course, I'm proceeding to the right hand side to the hill because there I can play hull down. Plus it is I would say the strategic position of this map, and most likely if you have won this strategic position, then you have at least a better chance of winning the whole game. So okay, let me see whether I can get a snapshot. Nice, onto the Skoda T50. Excellent. And so the only thing our teammates need to do is to not push over aggressively and not lose all their HP in this situation. Okay, that's not what the Leopard PT8 did, unfortunately. Here you go. Can I get a shot onto the KV3? Excellent. Okay, a little bit lucky. Okay, our Cobra died on the hill, so we need to retreat. The Type 61 is now in a crossfire situation, and okay, he gets, yeah, unfortunately he now gets taken out. And the problem is that I'm now on this flank only with the KV3, the tier 8 Soviet heavy tank, and I'm getting pushed by the adversary tanks, which have now 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks on the hill. So we are kind of in a bad situation, but okay, I make this shot onto the KV3. Sorry. So as I said, the gun performs great if you are playing in, if you are brawling, and if you decrease the distance to the adversary tanks. And the armor works perfectly fine if you are playing hull down, because then you are decreasing the weak spots, not only the weak spot between your turret and your upper hull, but then also the cupola, which is easy to pen because the armor of the cupola is super weak, so even a tier 6 tank can easily penetrate your cupola. The thing is, you have to make sure that your adversary tanks are unable to at least easily hit your cupola, and this can be done with moving around, with waggling around, and with playing hull down. And the reason why I wanted to show you this game here is now I am fighting against multiple tanks all on my own on this flank. The only thing I have is a WoT at the back, at the rear of the map, supporting me, but we all know that the WoT does not have the most precise gun, so he is not a great sniper tank, and I really wish that I would have support of something like a Stritzwagen tank destroyer. So yeah. Alright, one shot, and as you can see, the Type 59 bounces yet another shot, and that's what I was talking about in the first game. Yes, the DPM of the Iron Ani is not the best one on paper, but due to the fact that your adversary tanks will bounce multiple shots one after another, means that the effective DPM of your tank is better to sometimes much better compared to your adversary tank, to the tanks that you are facing. And okay, here you go. I need to fall back because there is the G-so, and you know what, I will simply go to this position. Of course, the adversary tanks are not the smartest one in this position, because if they would simply push me out all together, then I wouldn't have a chance even in the Iron Ani. But as they are not doing this, I can basically hold this flank all on my own. Now, we all know the situation in which you are inferior on your flank, but nonetheless the adversary team is also winning the other flank, in which you actually had an advantage in your team. But unfortunately that's what is happening also right here in this game. Now, will we win the game? Most likely not, but nonetheless we want to get a good game and hold the flank as long as it is possible. Here go a little bit of aiming and we can make the shot, and now those tanks are brawling, and so I want to make sure that I can first of all track your opponents. That is always good, and then I want to show the frontal armor towards my adversary tanks, and if possible always to the tank which is about to shoot me. So I'm driving behind the rock so that the Shah Future 4 cannot take another shot. Fortunately he misses this one, and now I can turn my my armor towards this tank. I think he has shot all his shots that he had in his magazine, and so I can now simply farm him. So 2 tanks trying to push me out, but against an Iron Ani it is actually not that easy due to the perfect armor that this tank brings to the battle. And so yeah, 4.1k damage, 900 assisting, so another game of beyond 4k, sorry, 5k damage. And now we are playing against multiple opponents, and I simply want to use the hill in order to maybe outspot opponents and then fall back behind cover, or using my hull down capabilities. The Iron Ani is not the tank with which you can play vision games, simply because of the fact that this tank does not have a good concealment value. But that is alright. Let me see, can we get a shot onto the Chinese medium tank? Let me see, and he's behind cover. So okay, unfortunately our only teammate has been taken out. Okay, here you go, there's a little gap. So okay, unfortunately we bounced the shot. It was a risky one, so let me see. Okay, here's the, oh nice, thanks a lot Mr. Arty player, thanks a lot. Now this is a situation in which I really wish I had a better DPM, so the reload takes so long that the artillery can hide behind the next rock, which is, yeah, nothing I can do about it. Okay, here you go. Bam, another shot onto an adversary tank, and we already made 4,800 damage in the Iron Ani, and maybe, okay, this shot did not hit. Okay, artillery is getting another shot onto me, but now here you go. Here you go, nice, we can kill the artillery, giving us at least a little bit more time. And now I think we need to go to the left side of this little, okay, here you go. Okay, now we have the information that this tank is pushing us. Okay, I think I did not make this shot due to the fact that I was stunned, but my first aid kit is still in use, so maybe I can get a shot now. Let's aim in, and nice, we can take out the Carnarvon, but unfortunately time is running out and we lose the game, or we even get destroyed. Anyway, I wanted to show you this game because it was another fantastic game in the Iron Ani. Plus I wanted to show you that you can even brawl against multiple tanks in this tank due to the fantastic armor. And now let me show you the last game. And yeah, in some situations the Iron Ani can be seen as being overpowered, but yeah, let me show you the next game. All right, fourth and last game in the Iron Ani, and take a look at the matchmaking. I am playing with my friends in a platoon of Iron Anis, and we are top tier in a tier 6 matchup. Well, the Iron Ani is a strong tank, and I would say it is a tier 8.5 tank, just like the WoT, just like the WoT 46 and so on and so forth. And so if you're playing against tier 7 and tier 6 tanks, this is simply unfair for all the other players. Now, of course, our only strategy in this game is to press the W key and simply keep moving forward and basically shred all the adversary tanks that we are facing on our way towards the position. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I think if you're playing in a platoon with the Iron Ani, then even the below average DPM is not a problem per se, because you will always be able to fire against your opponents. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. The CS52 list, the tier 8 medium tank of the adversary team, is maintaining in this defensive position, which is great for us. And then we'll see where the other platoon of the adversary team goes. So far the T5, the TS5 has not been spotted, and so yeah, we can simply keep moving forward. And if we waggle around a bit, if we angle our tank just like we're doing, those tanks will not be able to penetrate us. And so yeah, we will simply keep moving forward and simply destroy all the tanks that we are facing. This poor little Hellcat driver is trying to fall back, but can we track him? Excellent, we can track him. And so yeah, I'm sorry bro, I really feel sorry for you. He even manages to fall back behind cover, but you know what, we will simply keep moving, eat a shot from the Hellcat, and then take him out. So yeah, this is what happens if you play in a platoon. This Iron Ani player has decided to fall back into cover, which is wise, and our platoon is now moving forward. Here you go, we'll take a shot. Nice orange pen marker. With a little bit of luck, we managed to penetrate this Iron Ani at the side. And yeah, of course our right flank is under pressure because we went to the left hand side, and so the TS5 as a top tier tank is now able to push the heavy lane down at the 9 lane. That is all right. And I think it is now time for us to move aggressively into the middle in order to make more shots and in order to keep pressure onto the adversary team. Here you go, and bam. Okay, that was very unfortunate, but as you can see, if you are playing at a certain distance, then it is super tough to penetrate, to pen the shots for the adversary tanks, simply due to the fact that at a higher distance it is really tough to hit your weak spots. Once again, keep in mind that if you are playing at a very close distance, you have to move around, you have to keep moving around, because otherwise your adversary tanks will be able to hit your cupola, and your cupola can be penetrated by every other tank, even tier 6 tanks. Alright, this challenger tries to brawl against an Iron Ani. That is of course a thing which is unsuccessful. And now let's try to get a shot onto the Pershing, which is the teammate of the Iron Ani. I think if he is taken out, here you go. Here you go. Yeah, the Pershing is just an outdated tank, which is, in my opinion, below average on tier 8. So if we peek out against the... Here you go. Artillery even fights against him. You know what? If this T-34-85M player moves forward aggressively, then of course we want to punish him and try to take him out. 7-4. So here you go, bam. Yeah, with the Iron Ani you can even make mistakes like this and simply move out of cover. Now, but notice that I'm always angling my hull in order to increase the effective armor of my tank. So we can take out the tier 6 Soviet tank destroyer, and let's now simply keep moving to the, here you go, to the T-34-85M. And yeah, another shot which did not penetrate from him, and we can take him out. So yeah, if you're in a top tier situation with the Iron Ani, this tank is so brutal. And so, as I said, you have a super versatile tank. You cannot play vision games in this tank, but you can brawl against any other tank on the battlefield. Even against tier 8 tanks, you have 320 alpha damage, which is also good even against top tier tanks. You have a superb armor, and you still have the mobility of a medium tank, although of course slightly worse than a regular, let's say, mobile medium tank. Yeah, so in my opinion, this is the most fun tier 8 premium tank currently in the game, at least one of the most fun premium tanks. For me, it works perfectly fine. I know that some players hate the inaccurate gun, but for me it works, and I really like this tank, and I can really recommend this tank, especially during holiday ops. Now, I really wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I hope that you have fun watching my videos on my channel, and if so, please like the video, give it a like, and I see you in the next videos. Now, we already managed to get 2,000 subscribers on my channel, which is yeah, a fantastic thing for me, because it is, after all, only a very small channel. And yeah, once again, I hope you have fun watching my videos. I really enjoy giving you guys content and maybe making you guys better here and there with some tips and tricks. And yeah, I see you in the next videos. Alright guys, that was it for today with the video about my favorite tier 8 premium tank currently in the game. What do you think about the Iron Ani? Do you also adore this combination of firepower and armor? Do you think it is worth playing it during holiday ops event? Just leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. Consider subscribing to my channel, and I see you next time in another World of Tanks video.